The following is a podcast meant for adults and discuss things like sexual content and alcohol use. Listener discretion is advised.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between? Welcome to another episode of the Drunk Texting Podcast, episode 32. Mother of Christ, studio audience already trying to mess up our episode. Ain't even 10 seconds. Ain't even 30 seconds into the episode. This man's already trying to mess up the episode. I swear. This is exactly why you will continue to be the studio audience. This is why I don't think I'm going to refer to you by name on this podcast for another 3 months. My goodness gracious, my dog. I love you.
The name won't be revealed until the fucking Valentine's Day episode.
If not even further past that. We might wait till the 1 year episode. God almighty. What did you, dog. My dog. Oh my goodness. The Drunk Texting Podcast, episode 32, the podcast where we have some drinks, talk some mess, help you through your thirsty Thursdays as only we know how to do. With that being said, I am one half of your co-hosting team. I'm not the adjective person. I'm not going to try to pull an adjective out my behind so that way y'all can have an adjective. That's my co-host. I am just going to be lovingly referred to as JB, aka Tunes. And those of you that follow my streaming platforms, y'all know that's my streaming personality is Tunes, formerly Tunes and Goons. I'll explain maybe a little bit later, maybe closer to the end of the episode, why I changed it from Tunes and Goons to just Tunes. But with that being said, I am joined, as always, by my lovely and wonderful co-hostess with the Mostess. Please tell the people who you are, what your adjective is for this week.
I am the impatient. Impatient. Kristal D.
You know what? I've been following your journey as a person since we have met and become friends. I can agree with you on that one. Not in a bad way, but when you want something, you want it. So I understand. I understand. I'm the same way. When I want something, I'm impatient. I'm like, bro, I need that right now. I need that today.
If I want it, I'm gonna go get it.
Exactly.
If I have the means, I'm gonna make it happen myself.
There it is.
I'm not gonna even know.
That's the point right there. If I have the means, I'm gonna make it happen. Amen. I agree with you on that one. This week we are drinking on our drinks. It is still Christmas time. As you can see, Kristal has her tree in the background. My hat is over here on the side. I'm gonna put my hat on for the audio video watchers. Hold on.
Next week I'll have my Christmas outfit on.
Boom, we got the Christmas hat on for the people. We have our tree up. It's in our house. The tree is up. We got is yours a pre-lit or is yours, y'all had to put the string lights on it as well?
Nah, this pre-lit with different settings.
Listen, same. Ours is too.
Fancy.
I'll admit, growing up, and even once I moved into my own apartment when I moved out after college, my Christmas trees, I always had to put the lights on them myself. Growing up, I hated it. Bro, I remember growing up when I was between the ages of 12 and 20, 21, 22. And this was because during while I was in college, I would still go home for Christmas. And you know how BSU works, we get 3, 4, 5 weeks off.
Right.
So we had a bunch of time. So I would get back home the second week of the month, and my mom still ain't my parents still ain't put up the tree. So it would be my job because my mom was still working back at the time. So she would go to work for that week, and then the next week she had the teacher development days or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I'd be at the house by myself. My dad would be in the back of the house sleep because he worked night shift. He worked he drove feeder trucks for UPS for 30 odd years. So I would literally be in the house by myself. My job was to put up the Christmas tree. And when I tell you, every single year it was an all day event. And the reason I said that is because my mom was very particular about how she wanted her tree to be put up. She put up the tree. She wanted every branch to be extended and puffed out to make the tree.
Yes, you
You
have
extend
to.
it. But the thing is, the way I would do it would not be the way that she wanted it done. That's the
Mm.
thing. So like I would do it, and then she would go behind me and be like, "Did you even puff these out? Did you even pull them out? I look at
Because
this. Look
you
at all."
can't have those. You gotta make sure ain't no holes in the
And
tree.
that's the thing. I always did. I always did, and I would send pictures. And of course, I wouldn't send it to my mom because she wouldn't see it till she got off work anyway. But I would send it to other people, and I'd be like, "What does this look? Does it look good? Do you see any empty spots?" Before I even started putting the lights on it, none of that. So they would all confirm. They'd be like, "Yes, it looks good. It looks great. We love it." Lo and behold, I put the lights on it, and just let me say, I hated putting lights on the tree. That's why I'm so glad we got a pre-lit, because I'd always start from the outlet, and I would run it down the bottom of the tree, wrap it around, go up a little bit, wrap it around again,
Yeah.
go up a little bit, plug in the next set, wrap it around a little bit,
Yeah.
wrap it around another time, plug in the next set, wrap it up one more time, wrap it up a third time, plug in the star, put it on top, then put no, I'm wrong. I would, because my parents also had this thing that like you put it over the top of the tree, and then it like had like the string that would like go down vertically. That was on a different outlet itself. Like it was on a different plug. So you didn't plug it into
Okay.
the same light because it had different settings. So literally, it would
Interesting.
put that on, string those out, put the tree on top, plug those into the light, plug the other one into the bottom, so that way all of the lights would be on. Then I would have to go in with the ornament, and I love the ornament. Don't get me wrong. My mom is a savant when it comes to like Christmas ornaments, and like they've been basically the same since I've been like 12 when she got a new tree, new ornaments, and all of that. Outside of like maybe a dozen ornaments that have stood the test of time and have stayed because they were one that I made in kindergarten, ones my brothers have like made in kindergarten and growing up in school. Pictures of us when we were like children and babies. We had one, and I think my dad fixed it, but I don't know if they put it on their tree this year. It was a Michael Jackson singing one. It was like a little jukebox, and when you hit it, it had one of three songs that would play. It would be Dirty Diana,
Ooh.
I Just Can't Stop Loving You, and The Way You Make Me Feel. And I will admit, I remember specifically, even though my parents were fans, they grew up listening to Michael Jackson.
Right.
They were alive during the like peak of Michael Jackson. One of my mom's closest friends, she actually got that as a gift for me after Michael Jackson passed, because I was so
Oh.
distraught, and I was even as a child back in 2009, I was just so distraught at his passing, and I was just like, "Bro, it's Michael Jackson." I remember that same year.
Oh.
Is it in here? It is. Wait, is that it? It is. Hold on.
Oh.
Literally, the year that Michael Jackson passed, my mom, because they sold these the year that that Michael Jackson passed. And I remember, now don't laugh, it was the year that like it was like, the home channel, like you could call in, you get like the TV channel where
Oh
you could
yeah.
call and like order stuff. They were selling this on that, and I saw it, and I begged my mom. I was like, "Mom, please get me this, please." She ordered it. It came in a month and a half before Christmas. She would not let me touch it until Christmas. She
Yeah.
wrapped it up and put it under the tree. I knew it was already here. She would not let me touch this thing until Christmas. And to this day, it is still one of my most prized possessions, only for the fact that this is one of the few things that I've managed to keep in like damn near pristine condition. I know for a fact that I am missing. Yes, I know where the fourth. I actually know where the fourth CD is, and I'm mad because I have to go get it. It's in
Damn.
my parents' house, but
Mm.
I have it, and I'm so happy that I still have it. The Ultimate Collection, literally, you got all the songs on the back. The fifth DVD is a 5 DVD set. It's a 5 CD set. The fifth CD is
Ooh.
a DVD that is a concert. That is his freaking. It's a live concert in Bucharest from the Dangerous tour. I don't know if you
That's
remember.
right.
I don't know if you remember that clip that goes around all the time of Michael Jackson when he like jumps up on the stage, like he shoots out from under the stage and he
Yeah.
just stands there. It's that concert.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah,
That's famous.
it is a
That's famous.
fantastic concert. Like it is by far like truthfully, it's one of those things that like if I had time travel, I would go back and try to go to that concert. Because the end of the concert, he gets into a freaking jetpack suit and jetpacks off the stage.
Only Michael Jackson.
Only Michael Jackson, bro. That's the type of stuff like only Michael Jackson can do. But that all of that, that's just the Christmas. We're gonna do a Christmas episode, but that's the type of that's the Christmas love and the Christmas stuff that I have. Before we get into today's episode, please remember, always drink responsibly. Never drink and drive. Sometimes drink and text. With that being said, I am drinking on a lemonade liquor concoction that's like lemonade, like some blueberry juice, and it like kind of like you said last week. I don't remember what's all in it, but it tastes good. So
I love how we just stop remembering what's in our drinks. We just say shit, it's something that tastes good.
right. We look. Once we start getting like branded alcohols on the podcast,
Then we'll remember.
then we'll make sure we remember. But until that point,
We
is
don't.
that a spoiler? Is that just like a teaser?
A teaser.
Is that more of a teaser? Okay.
It's more of a teaser.
Because we got some stuff, and I've been chomping at the bits, and Kristal and
stuff
studio
more.
audience can tell you I've been chomping at the bits, excited for some stuff that's coming up in the new year that we're going to start doing, especially once we can start being back together in the studio. So that's going to be fun. But with that being said, we are actually going to get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode, starting with our first section of today's episode, which is our question of the week. Now, Kristal, as I was telling you before we started, I specifically picked this question based on a dream that I had over the weekend that rocked the better part of my Saturday. Like, literally, I woke up from my dream, immediately woke up from my dream, went to the bathroom, and it rocked like half of my Saturday. Like, I didn't feel better until I talked to Gabby while we were having lunch later in the day. Like, it was that kind of dream. But with that being said, our question of the week is, what's the wildest dream you've ever had? I'll admit, some of these responses, kind of funny. Some of these responses, kind of weird. I really want to know what happened right before, or like what preceded some of these dreams. The first one is going to be a handful. So, buckle up. I used to have a recurring dream. It would start with me being alone in a house in the kitchen. I walked into a big room and closed the door behind me. It was dark. The room was empty except for one of those wind-up jack-in-the-box things on the other side of the room, and it would start to wind down and play some kind of creepy clown music. I knew I couldn't just back out of the room. The door was now locked. But there was a door on the other side by the jack-in-the-box. I also knew I had to get out before it went off, so I ran for the door on the other side of the room. I made it before the jack-in-the-box went off. Beyond the door was a hallway. There's a door that goes to the bathroom, and the hallway continues to wrap around the corner. I know something bad is coming from around the corner, so I hide in the bathroom. The door is closed, but I still see the child-sized mechanical toy thing march down the hall towards the dark room. Once they pass, I know it's safe to leave. I go back down the hall, through the dark room, which is no longer a danger. I know the door is unlocked now, and I go back to the kitchen. Then a group of friends come in from outside. They were done roasting marshmallows over a campfire. I feel safe again, and the dream ends. This dream always happened exactly the same way, feelings and all. It was like I kept having it for the first time. Only upon waking up did I realize I'd had it again, and always woke up after the dream ended, as far as I know. So that type of dream, stuff like that, I'm just like, these people need to have dream journals for stuff like this. Because what do you mean? That's the type of dream that you talk to a therapist or a psychologist about. Because what do you mean? You just experienced your own personal horror movie, only for it to end with your friends coming back in after finishing roasting marshmallows, which you at no point mention until the end of the dream.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's a lot. Like I said, it's a lot. The next one, a lot more simple, a lot more wholesome. I slept for 5 hours and dreamt I was falling through different lives where I was rich, then a Vietnam vet, which was violent, and then a garbage man. I was happiest as a garbage man because I kept getting high fives. I can't even. I'll be honest with you. I really imagined like not the exact garbage man from the Toy Story franchise. You know, Sid. Yeah, because Sid becomes the garbage man. Not Sid, but like basically the garbage man in that universe, taking like the neighborhood trash cans, dumping them out, and then like the people giving them high fives as they come to retrieve their trash can. Like, yeah, another great week. like, like I think like the sun. Say, huh?
I said I love the enthusiasm.
Right, like that's so. That's funny. I think that's cute. This one is one sentence, and it's the response that made it funnier to me. I was putting on deodorant, and the deodorant turned me into a horse. Somebody responded, "Pitch it to Old Spice."
They would take it.
Listen,
Old Spice would take it.
It's just like, look at yourself. Now look at me. Now back at yourself. Now back at me. I am now a mighty stallion. That's the power of Old Spice.
Yes, Old Spice would do that. I can see that being a thing. Old Spice.
Oh my god! Cause didn't they have a commercial run where it was like a bunch of centaurs?
Yeah. I just remember the one that was like, "Look at you. Now look at me. Now look at you. Now look at me. Now look at your man. Now look at me."
Yes, yes.
What?
Old Spice used to have some of the most unhinged, like videos and like commercials. Did you ever see the one? It was Terry Crews, and it was a video to promote like the body blocker or whatever. But basically, what it was he had like a bunch of like electromagnetic things on his like body, on various different body muscles, and each one controlled a different instrument. And so literally he's like, body, 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 what? Body, 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 flex. And he's like making a beat with his muscle. Like he's flexing muscles and different instruments are going off as he's flexing the muscles. And it's just the funniest. I gotta see if I can find it, because that is one of the funniest to me. It's ridiculously funny because you see Terry Crews in like this laboratory / like gym, what it kind of looked like, and he's just in like the weightlifting like boxer shorts kind of thing, and he's just going to town. It is the funniest thing. It is the funniest.
I see the commercial you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, she found it.
I've seen that weird ass commercial.
Alrighty. This one is just one of those ones where it's like you don't eat like greasy food before you go to bed. I once dreamt I had to kill a dinosaur by cutting off the top of its skull and pour boiling gasoline onto its brain. Also, it was a cartoon dinosaur that looked like a giraffe. I remember that if I failed in killing the dinosaur, something really bad was going to happen. So it was super important. So you remember that like something bad was going to happen, but you don't remember what that bad thing was? Like, make it make sense.
That's funny.
Ooh, this one's going to be kind of interesting because we have the world of Coke, and this one involves Coca-Cola.
Oh.
I used to work for Coca-Cola years ago. I absolutely hated it. Terrible bosses, barely mediocre pay, etc. I quit there almost 20 years ago and have been with the same company since I left. Well, a few years ago, I had a dream that I quit the company I am at and went back to work for Coke. I was miserable. Same old crap as before. The dream was so real that when I woke up, I laid in bed and was convinced I had went back to work for Coke. I was legitimately depressed and sad for about 20 minutes until I realized it was just a dream. My God.
Lord.
That's funny. I want to say this one is the last one just because it kind of ties into the dream that I had, so it'll be a nice little jumping off point. Last night, I dreamt that I was reuniting with all my old buddies and teachers from back when I was training at wrestling college to become a professional wrestler. We reminisced about all the old rivalries, the pranks. I went back around the old campus grounds, exploring and catching up with the facility. So many stories. Only, of course, in the waking world, I have never had anything to do with wrestling and have zero interest in the sport, but my brain was capable of weaving this incredibly detailed tapestry of places and characters. I woke up and felt sad that it was all just bullshit. God, to be fair, I am the same way. Sometimes I have vivid dreams and I wake up and I'm sad because I'm like, dang, that was nice. There was one time, and this isn't the one I wanted to talk about. There was one time I had a dream where I had an ice cream cone. And I don't know why, but I was really excited about the ice cream cone. I remember because I went down to lick the ice cream and I leaned over and I remember waking up and like being startled because I was leaning off the side of the bed, and had I continued, I would have fallen off the bed. So I understand the vividness of the dream. But to get into that, I say all that to say like I said, I picked this one because I had a really vivid, really crazy, wild, weird dream that I feel a whole lot better about it now that I've talked to my wife, and she has reassured me that it's just my brain being weird and playing pranks on me, and it just likes to be mean to me. The dream. I had a friend that I knew from college. We were in band together. Move up to the area. And they were like, hey, well, I'm just trying to find some people that live in the area. I'm deciding I'm going to have a kickback. I know it's a bunch of us from our time in BSU that are up here, so I'm just inviting y'all all out, blah, blah, blah. My wife, Gabby, she's actually out of town visiting family. She wanted to go up. I was like, I'm cool on it. If you want to go up, you can and spend some time with your family. It's cool. I go to the kickback. I'm thinking, yeah, it's going to be nice to see some folks I remember from college. You know, see some old friends. You know, it is what it is. Red flag number one, now that I look back and I think about it. She lived in the same apartment complex that I lived in when I moved up here by myself for the first time. That was the first red flag, and I should have seen it coming a mile away. I should have tried to wake myself up, but I couldn't. It was very vivid. So I go in. At first, it's literally just me, the person that owns the apartment, and then one other person, because I don't know why I was early for the kickback. I think I was so excited. I brought my bottles. I was having a good time. So I'm in there. I'm chilling. We hanging out. Kickback starts. It's like 20, 30 people in the kickback. We having a good time. Great time, even. Drinks are flowing, people strolling, music playing. It's a good time. About midway through, and I want to say I'm probably like 5, 6 drinks in. I want to say maybe 5, 6 drinks, maybe a little bit more. I bump into my ex. The very ex that was right before me and Gabby started dating. The one that I have gone into great detail about how you just ruined my mental health. But in the dream, it's also around this same time in like reality. So it's been 4 or 5 plus years. I don't be mean to her. I don't be rude to her. I don't be disrespectful to her. I kind of nod my head. I go on about my business. I step away from her. I get on. I keep having a good time because, like I said, the drinks is flowing. I'm having a good time. Cool. Kickback still going. We having a good time. I'm doing my best to avoid her. So finally, at some point, I sit down on the couch. I'm chilling. I got a drink. 8, 9 drinks in, probably even more. God, probably a dozen and a half shots in. I'm sitting on the couch. Everything's fine. The kickback is still going, but it started to wind down. You know that like when it gets to a
Yeah.
certain point where everybody's not like high energy, but it's still a kickback, but everybody's just kind of like chilling, talking, and the music's still playing.
Right.
So I'm sitting on the couch, having a great time. X sits right next to me on the couch. Mind you,
Mm.
put a little pin in this. Got my wedding ring on. The host of the kickback knows, and also the other friend that was there when I first showed up, they know that I'm married because they also follow me and they're all on the. We keep up with each other on social media. They know I'm married. X sits down right next to me. We're talking whatever. I'm drunk. I'm I'm in my mind. I'm drunk. She was late to the kickback because she had been at work. She came straight from work. That's why she was late. She's in a soberer mind than I am. Cool, whatever. I'm still talking. I'm like, you know what? I've grown a lot since then. I'm in a better space. I'm a different person than who I was back then. I'm not going to just treat you any kind of way. I'm not going to disrespect you. If you're here, whatever, we're going to have a good time. I'm going to continue to have a good time. Me and her just chop it up, whatever. We're kind of talking, but we're not really like talking for real. Flash forward maybe 15, 20 minutes. We're talking, we're kikiing, laughing, whatever. And I remember vividly, she goes, God, I wish that we could have been these people back then. And I was just like, well, it probably would have saved us a lot of heartache. It probably would have saved us a lot of pain if we knew then what we know now. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, the part of the dream that rocked my shit so hard when I woke up was at that point, because I look at her, she looks at me. She stands up, stands over me. She's looking down at me. I'm looking at her looking at me. She starts to lean in. And the part that fucks me up and fucked me up even more, and I'm probably never going to be able to listen to this song ever again, is because Beyonce's Dangerously in Love is playing in the background. And I'm like, what the
Movie
fuck
moment.
and I'm sitting, like, so I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So literally in the dream, she gets like, I want to say like roughly like this close. So it's like here. And I just start crying. I'm just like, hey, ooh. Cause at that point, I'm realizing what's happening. And so I'm just like, oh, woo, I can't do this. I can't. I was like, I'm glad that you've grown. I'm glad that I've grown. I'm glad we're better people. I'm married. I know nothing can happen. Nothing will happen. She looks at me. She sits back down. She kisses me on the cheek and goes, it's okay. I understand. And then I wake up. And when I tell you, I don't think I've ever immediately woken from a dream and went into a fucking panic spiral. Maybe one other time have I ever done that. And I felt horrendous. I felt horrendous after I woke up. I'm gonna be honest with you. I felt like I had cheated. I didn't even did nothing. It was so vivid. It was so vivid. And I didn't even do nothing in the dream. And I felt like I cheated. I was like, bro, I'm a horrible person. Ah. And so several hours after I wake up, Gabby and I are at lunch, and I finally I crack and I tell her, because I was like dealing with the whole like, do I tell her? Do I not tell her? Do I tell her? Do I not tell her? If I don't tell her, it's going to continue to eat at me alive. But if I do tell her, it might turn into a thing. Do I tell her? Do I not tell her? So I crack, I tell her, and she literally, and this is why I love her so damn much, because she literally was like, oh, that's it? That's what you've been upset about the whole day? And I was like, yeah, I feel bad. And she was just like, well, first off, it happens. I mean, it's not like it's something that you can control. You're asleep. You're not a lucid dreamer, so it happens. She was just like, I understand having dreams about people you don't want to have dreams about, because it happens to me. It's fine. I understand. And I was just like, I haven't thought about her. I was like, I blocked her on everything. I don't know why. And she was just like, it's fine. Your brain is just being mean to you. Okay, it's okay. And literally, it's only been a few days since it happened, almost a week by the time this episode comes out. But like, I'm laughing now because I'm just like, dog, I really was so like,
You was spiraling.
I was going through it over that. Like, literally, was I literally texted one of the homies and he was like, bro, it's cool. He was like, if anything, this shows how much you care about your wife. Like,
Right.
to the point to
It's
where you don't even do anything in the dream. Like, you set the record straight in the dream and you still woke up feeling bad. Like, that says how much you care about your wife. That even dream you can do the right thing and you still feel bad because it went in your mind too far.
Yeah.
Also, another part of it, I'm now mad, not necessarily at real life them, but dream them, because the person who owned the apartment and the friend that was there from the jump when I got there, they were both sitting there watching it happen. They
I mean,
knew I was
sometimes all you
married.
can do is sit back and watch.
They knew I was married. They sat there and they watched it happen. Man, if they ever see/hear this episode and they're just like, who was it? I'll tell them straight up who it was. But like, I'm not gonna put their names out there just because just because it was my dreamscape. That I think to this day that might actually be the wildest dream, at least the wildest one that like because of everything that was happening. Like, yeah, of course I've had the ones where it's like, oh, I can fly or oh, I can like teleport or whatever, but like nothing like that, especially with how vivid it was. Horrendous. But with all that to say, what has been your wildest dream?
I have wild dreams every single night, man.
Well,
Like
tell us one.
every night is something crazy.
Tell us one.
It's so crazy because I don't remember the half of them. I don't remember a lot of them. I used to like actually keep a dream journal in my phone. I have like notes and notes of dreams in my phone and they're like paragraphs long.
You need to keep doing that.
But one that comes to mind. I was on a bridge, you know, like those kind of like wood bridges.
Yeah.
Kind of like the one in Shrek, like long ass wood bridge.
The old rickety
like,
one.
There's nothing. Yeah, it's nothing else. It's just bridge and like dark ass forest. So I'm walking on this bridge, and there's this like white lady standing on the side of the bridge.
Already a horror. Already.
I guess she's like a tour guide or whatever. First, I passed her one time. She's like all happy and smiling, just hi, you know, whatever.
But in the
like,
middle of a dark ass forest, though.
Yes.
Nah, that's horror movie 101.
So then I keep walking. I walk fast. I keep walking. I don't know how long this fucking bridge is. I'm still walking, and I pass the lady again. But now she's like, she's not smiling no more. She's kind of just straight facing it. So I'm just like, okay, keep walking. I pass her again. Now she looks mad. And she like legit mean mugging me. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with her. But I'm just keep walking. Again, I'm walking on this bridge a long ass time. Eventually, I hear something behind me.
Oh,
I turn around. This lady is now chasing me with a fucking chainsaw on this bridge.
Oh.
I take off on this rickety ass bridge while this crazy white woman is chasing me with a fucking chainsaw.
Jesus
and I can just hear it getting louder and louder. Eventually, I turn around. For one last time, I turn around and she's right here in my face. And I've never woken up so fast. Like, you see in movies, they'll like wake up just like, that's legit how I woke up. I was like, yo.
Oh no. Oh no.
But it was like scary. It's like, dang, she really tried to like tell me for no reason. I don't know what.
So I have to ask if you remember when she was chasing you down. Was it like Texas Chainsaw Massacre style, or was she like Get Out style, like chainsaw in one hand, just?
No, she was like both hand chainsaw running, finna slice the guy's mind.
Okay, Texas Chainsaw Massacre style.
Yes, like she was full force running behind me on this rickety bridge with a chainsaw.
That's crazy.
Yeah, all my dreams are like That was one of the more tame dreams.
That was one of the more tame ones. You just
You can
experienced a
ask
whole ass horror movie.
you can ask him. He'd be like, "What'd you dream about?" And it's always something random and crazy. Like I dreamed about like a floating banana in the hallway the other night. Like I was like, why is this banana just floating in the hallway? It's a fucking like secret item in a fucking game.
Did you did you get it? Did
No,
you
I
get the
didn't.
why
I didn't.
did you at
I
least
just
like
like envisioned it there in the hallway.
did you
That's
like
all I saw was a hallway and a floating banana.
did you just so at no point did you try to grab the banana? You didn't try to interact with
No,
the banana at any point.
I wasn't asleep long enough for that. I just saw it.
That's funny. That is
I was
funny.
like, someone exploded in Minecraft and all they had in there so it was this banana.
That's funny. Even funnier because I think the Minecraft movie is coming out soon. I actually
Oh
don't know when.
gosh.
I actually don't know when it's coming out. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
I don't
Um,
want to know what's coming out. I don't want to see it. Not
really?
a, I actually just found my Minecraft game, actually.
I haven't. Oh, it doesn't come out until next year.
I
I don't
still
know
don't want to
why I
see
thought
it.
it was coming out near Christmas. I don't know. But yeah, um, that's crazy. To be honest, I I said this. I said this and I just kind of made it funny. I thought it was funny anyway. The way people said that Chris Hemsworth basically got like all the voice acting roles for movies that didn't need him. In my mind, I was like, Jack Black is basically doing the same thing and nobody's saying nothing about him.
Jack Black is always appearing in the most random movies in the most random
But like,
uh roles.
true. I ain't gonna lie though, he crushed it as Bowser.
Yeah, he
Like
did. He did really that.
I was very, I'll admit, and I'll openly admit this. When I saw the casting for the Super Mario Brothers movie, I immediately was like, what is this movie? Like, do they want to make money? Because this movie will not make money with this selection of cast members. I was like,
And look,
even with Jack Black, and they were like, oh yeah, Jack Black's gonna be Bowser. I was like, I could see that being hilarious. But at the same time, I don't know if that's going to be enough to carry the movie. And then I went and watched it with Gabby, and I have to admit, I think I have had the most sense of childlike wonder watching a movie that was absolutely not geared for me in a long time. Like,
it
I
was a
think
fun little movie to watch.
I think the out of all the movies that I've watched over the past like 2-3 years, my top two that I'm like, these movies filled me with the most joy and wonder have been the Super Mario Brothers movie and the Deadpool and Wolverine. And
Mm.
I say that just because, truthfully, because I'm an Easter egg person. I love watching movies and experiencing movies, especially for the first time, and getting to see Easter eggs for the first time in movies. So when I went and I watched the Super Mario Brothers movie, and there were all these different Easter eggs, even within the first like 10 minutes of the movie, I was like, "Oh shit, this is awesome! This is
Like
great."
that's true.
Same thing with the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. There were so many Easter eggs. One of which, and this is kind of spoilers. I will admit it's kind of spoilers. It's still within the realm of like, even though it's out on streaming now, like it's still within that window of time where like it could be considered spoilers if you haven't seen it. But there is a specific scene in the movie where it's the Honda what the it,
Oh, when they're fighting in the car.
they're fighting in the car van thing, and Deadpool grabs Wolverine's head and he's smashing it into the radio. And for literally like a second, you hear the opening cadence for The Greatest Show. And that Easter egg literally had me and Gabby beaming. Because, for those that don't know, Hugh Jackman, many, many moons ago, was in a movie called The Greatest Showman. It was the story, how do I describe this? It was the dramatized? Probably the wrong word.
Dramatization.
It was a dramatization of the story of P.T. Barnum and how the circus basically came to be. In that movie, Hugh Jackman plays the main character, but in the opening song, it's called The Greatest Showman, or The Greatest Show, and the opening riff for it is the sound that you hear in that fight scene, which it kind of just tied it all together because it's just like, there's a reference to one of Hugh Jackman's other movies. That's cute.
Fun.
It was a funny little nod to like fans of Hugh Jackman and fans of like his musical side of things, not just his action movie side of things, which is awesome. Also,
I like that.
also, props to Hugh Jackman for openly admitting that Deadpool and Wolverine was absolutely the reason why he decided to come back out of retirement. Because he admitted, I think it was on the Hot Ones, where the show where they do like the chicken wings and like they heat like the really hot hot sauces. He admitted the day after he announced his retirement, that's when Ryan Reynolds announced that there was going to be another Deadpool movie, and he was like, "Damn it!"
Like, God damn it.
He literally was like, "Damn, I got to get back on that." And
Yeah, you do.
the rest is history.
And they made movie magic.
They literally made movie. I genuinely think outside of Wakanda Forever, and I will say that to my blue in the face, I think that outside of Wakanda Forever, Deadpool and Wolverine might be one of the best movies that Marvel has put out since Endgame. Yeah, Endgame.
Mm.
Not to say that Spider-Man No Way Home was not a banger. No Way Home was arguably the best Spider-Man movie we've gotten since Spider-Man was introduced to the MCU. As like this continuity of the MCU. Not because technically Andrew Garfield, it was Sony, but like that was when Marvel was starting to like gain footing, so it was like kinda, sorta, but not really. It was the whole thing. But we can spend a whole lot more time talking about that, but we won't. We're going to get on to our next section. But before we get on to our next section, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, actually people 21 and up, because we say that at the beginning of every episode. This is the podcast for adults. But with that being said, please tell us what has been the wildest dream that you've ever had. Comment it down below, because God is my witness. I would love to read some of y'all's wild dreams, especially because I know who some of the listeners of this podcast are. Right. So I know for a fact that if your dreams are even half as wild as you are in person, those would be some interesting reads. But with that being said, we are now going to move on into our next section, which is our Would You Rather of the Week. Now, this Would You Rather I created myself. I think this is a really interesting one. It's also talking about time. We've done time-based Would You Rathers before. I think this one, lovely. Would you rather go back in time 15 years and give yourself advice to change how your life is now and going forward? Or would you rather a version of yourself from 15 years in the future come back to now and tell you advice on how to make what you are doing better for them in the future?
I know my answer.
Actually, let's set some parameters, because I did have some parameters for this just to spice it up a little bit. In either scenario, whether you're going back in time or yourself is coming back to you, they're only going to be here for an hour. You're only going to be there for an hour. You only got 1 hour to talk to them, tell them all the things, you can give them advice. There's nothing that's off the table, so literally you can tell them about major events that are coming up. You can tell them about like how the stock market is going to change. You can tell them like winning lottery numbers, all of these different things. And you could literally do that, and that's what they could do coming back to you. And whatever changes they do make will affect you now, once you get back to your time, or once the person from 15 years from now comes back and tells you the choices you make will affect them, and you won't be locked in to make those decisions, but you will definitely have the knowledge and foresight to be able to change the outcome. Let's say like, oh, the Ravens win the Super Bowl in 30-34. you know that for a fact that going into Super Bowl 30-34, the Ravens are going to win. So you could decide to put a $5 million parlay on the Ravens winning. And whatever they tell you is going to happen will happen. Like it is set in stone. Same thing like to whatever you tell 15 years ago you is going to happen. It is set in stone. It will happen. Like there's not going to be like a butterfly effect of like, oh, now that I went back in time and told you, now it's not going to happen, or now that they came back in time to tell you, it's not going to happen. Like it's set in stone what they're telling you will happen.
Okay.
So with all of that,
answer stays the same.
Really, what's your? I want to hear your answer first. I'm not going to go and give my answer. I want to hear your answer.
I would rather have future me come back, tell me
Really
what the future looks like. Because what I'm gonna tell 12-year-old me, I don't care. What I'm gonna tell a middle schooler, hey, maybe don't do that.
You know how
No,
many
because it's gonna
things,
affect my life now.
but you know how many things you could change,
What am I
especially
gonna
since
change
everything is set in
as a
stone.
middle?
Everything
What am I
is
changing
set.
as a middle schooler?
Everything is set in stone. So all you got to do, you don't even really got to like, all you got to do is give them a booklet with everything in it. Say, hey, I need you to look. All of this is gonna happen. When it happens, remember that I was here. These are going to be the winning lottery numbers right after you turn 18. These are going to be the winning lottery numbers when it hits a million. When it hits a billion, when you turn 23. Here you go.
But still, I'd rather them come back to tell me now, because now I have the knowledge to do more with it. Because what am I gonna do telling a middle schooler, oh, the lottery number is da da da. Now I'm old enough, I can do whatever I want. I can do
But
any and everything.
but think about it. You could also convince them to not do things that led to like major pain and major like disappointment and stuff of that nature.
All the pain and disappointment make you who you are.
I
Trauma
mean,
makes the person.
shh. As much as I
Trauma
hate it,
makes the
as
person.
much as I hate it, you're
Listen,
right. As much as I hate
trauma
it,
makes people funny.
I I don't know if I can agree with that one. I mean,
I can't agree with that. Sometimes some of the trauma makes people funny as fuck.
you're not wrong. You're really not wrong. Like as much as I want to deny it, you're not wrong. Like trauma,
Listen,
absolutely.
it's like nothing funnier than a
Listen,
dad.
that's one of them jokes that were going around on TikTok. Did you have a good childhood or are you funny?
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
like were you mentally stable growing up or are you funny? Like which one is
All
it?
right. Did you watch Happy Tree Friends or were you normal?
We're not going down the ether of crazy internet videos we shouldn't have been watching. Even though that is a
Exactly.
fantastic segment we should do one day.
Yes.
It just literally talk for like 20 to 30 minutes about just crazy videos that we watched as kids that we shouldn't have.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
People on and on about that.
So you said you'd rather have future you come back. Studio audience, what do you say?
Eh, uh, I feel like I could do more for my past self.
You said you feel like you do more with your past self?
I can do more than my past self.
You can do more than your past self. Oh, okay, okay. So you would want your future self to come back and sit with you for an hour and tell you all the like major things over the next 15 years and how to make it so that way your life now and their life then will be better.
Right. I feel like I will be more successful.
Okay, okay, that's fair. I'm gonna be honest. I was on the fence. I will openly admit I was on the fence. Before y'all gave y'all the answers, I think I honestly think I would now hearing how y'all have described it. I would much rather do the future me coming back to now to be like, hey, I got all major events, I got all major lotteries, I got all the things that you might want to do. You might want to avoid going to this restaurant on this date at this time, okay? You were there, you were there, and let's just say there were some casualties and you lost a lot, big dog. You're not allowed to go back into that restaurant ever again.
I would start asking about other people. Okay, well, how's this person doing? How's that person doing?
I mean, you got an hour,
Stuff
so
like
you really could.
that. All right, you still kicking it with so and so.
That's a good one. Am I still friends with my groomsmen?
Right? Is my kids ugly?
I don't think you know what. Knowing you, you would tell your past self if your future kids was ugly. You would.
Like, damn, your kid kind of got a little fucked up thing going on there, but it's fine.
They forehead stretched out a little bit. It ain't faux. It's
Right?
like
Your forehead, somehow your kid's forehead is slanted. So,
not slanted. Look,
yeah,
look,
one of your kids' eyes droop a little bit, but it's
look.
fine.
It's like your third kid gonna have like the the permanent earphone dent at the top of their head. I don't know. They just came out that way. They just came
I
out
was
that way.
literally
I don't know what
screaming.
happened.
I was screaming for the rest of my life. That kid would always wear a hat. Like, fuck you. Like, no, hat forever. Mom, I don't want to wear a hat. I don't
No,
care what you want. I'm going to drill this. I'm going to super glue this hat onto your head. You gonna become the new Gorilla Glue girl, but with this hat.
that's crazy.
Or
That's
with the headphone dent. It's crazy.
and it's one of those ones where it's just like the dent. Like it's literally just like a strip, and it's just the dent.
I would literally cry for the rest of my life. Like, what surgery do I need to do
Uh,
to have this fixed?
that's funny. There is no surgery. It's
How has that how has that affected my child's brain development?
that there is no surgery. That's like their skull and their brain are both shaped like that. It goes all the way down to the tissue of the
Oh, the
brain.
brain. Oh my god.
Look,
That child ain't gonna be able to read.
look, they come back and be like, look, I don't know. They're only like 3 years old now, so I really don't know if it evens out when they get older, but
Oh, okay. We'll find a way to even it out. We're gonna put some silly putty in it to make it
wait,
trash.
wait. They got the little Bill head shape. Ah!
No, I would rather them have the peanuts from the Proud Family movie head shape, bro.
No.
I would rather them have a thumb head, bro.
Stop.
I can't,
That's crazy. That is
bro.
ridiculous. Oh, that's hilarious, but that is ridiculous.
Like, I can't. Like, I'm not judging, babies with deformities, but what the fuck?
Are you talking about those minions from Spy Kids?
Yes, thumb.
Uh,
Oh, I met a woman that was shaped like one of them thumbs, bro.
Oh my god.
Bro, that shit really kind of irritated me because she was giving me attitude, and that's when I saw it. Like she was giving me attitude, and that's when I saw it. I was like, "You built like one of them thumbs from the Spy Kids movie."
Thumb built bitch.
What is it about when you get upset or mad with somebody? That's when you start noticing, like the shit.
Little thing.
Right. Oh man, I'll never forget. I argued with this girl after class one time in college, and she had a chipped tooth. Like, and the bad part about it was she had a gap and a chipped tooth.
Damn.
I can't remember what was being said, but I was like, you know what? I'm done having this conversation because I can't even focus because I keep looking at your damn chipped tooth. And the way that she, after I said that,
She was hurt for the rest of the day.
I'm pretty sure she was because the way
Bro.
the way she looked at me,
She cried herself to sleep that night. I know
bro,
she did.
she cried driving all the way home.
She made an appointment with her dentist immediately, bro. She immediately called her dentist after that.
Said,
Like,
I
once I
gotta
know
fix
the bush
this.
is off, but it's time.
And I will remember. I all I remember from it was that we had wildly varying opinions on whatever we were arguing about. And that's all I remember was that we were arguing about something wildly varying opinion, and it wasn't even something like video games or movies. It was something like I want to say it was something close to being political, but like it wasn't like completely political, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Like it was like it could be in the
Political realm.
yeah, like it could fit in the political realm, but it wasn't like inherently political.
Mm.
And I just remember I literally stopped and was like, I can't have this conversation no more. I keep focusing on your chip too. I'm not even listening to what you're saying.
Mm.
And she just it was
I cried.
and it was the fact that the way she did it, she literally was like
Because there's nothing else you
and
can
you
do
could
with
and
that.
you could tell she was trying to find the words to try to say something back.
You
And she just
can't.
walked off. She just walked off. And I was just like,
As you should.
ah,
As you
Jesus.
should.
That Would You Rather was wonderful. We are going to move, actually, again, before we move on. Also, let us know which one you would rather. Would you rather go back and tell yourself 15 years ago everything that's going to happen so they can make your life better now? Or would you rather have 15 years from now, future you come back to you and tell you all the things that you could do to make that version of yourself's life better? It's all set in stone. Everything that they say will happen exactly as they say it. The butterfly effect will not be a thing. By them coming to tell you, it's not changing nothing. Everything they say happens, will happen. Which one are you doing? All three of us are in agreement. We would rather have 15 years from now us come back and tell us. Because we can do more now than we could do as a 13, 12, and I think like 18-year-old that studio audience would have been 15 years ago. I'm joking. He only would have been like 16. Wait, how old would you have been 15 years ago?
15 years ago?
14.
14?
Yeah, 14.
Yeah.
14.
Okay, that's fair. Awesome. We are going to go into our next section now. It would normally be anime discussion of the week, but this week I decided I'm going to do something different. We're not doing that. Kristal, you can sit back and relax. You can, unless you want to get involved in this, because this week we're doing a video game analysis.
All right.
It's going to be an interesting one. This is one that I, myself, personally, am really excited for because what we're going to do is I'm going to break down this video game. And I'm going to give star ratings for 3 different aspects of the game. The competitiveness, the fun of the game, and on a scale rating of stars, how likely I am to recommend it to my friends to play with me. Those are the 3. So competitiveness / difficulty. So like how hard / like how competitive is it? And for that, we are going to talk about a brand new game to hit the streets, and that is Marvel Rivals. Now, this game has been stirring up a little bit of trouble in the video gaming community because a lot of people, especially when it first dropped, said that it was basically just an Overwatch ripoff. Do I agree with that? I'm going to just leave it like this. It is what it is. Overwatch does not define the hero shooter genre. Now, what Marvel Rivals is, and I will admit, hands up, it is what it is. But my best way of explaining it is it's basically you take Overwatch, you reskin it for the Marvel Universe, you drop in a bunch of Marvel characters, give them their own, like, unique skill sets and abilities, and there's the game. You have Convergence, which I think Convergence is where you have to, you all get to a point and you have to control the mission point. You have Envoy, which is like you have to, like, escort, like, a thing to another area while fighting the enemy. And then the third one is kind of like the same, but you have to get to a mission point, control the mission point, and then escort something to its final destination.
Right.
I will admit, on paper, when I first saw the game, I was like, that looks fun, but I don't know if that's going to be for me. Because if it's anything like Overwatch, the sweats, the tryhards, and everybody and their mama gonna make me not want to play this game. But after being invited by like 3 or 4 of my wrestling buddies, literally a bunch of them were like, yo, this game is fun. You need to get down and play. You need to sit down and play. You need to sit down and play. I decided, bump it. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to play it. I downloaded it. It is free to play. We are not sponsored by them, by the way. I need to say that loud and clear. We are not sponsored by Marvel Rivals. They ain't paid us nothing for this. But with that being said, I sat down, I started playing, and I will admit right now, I gotta admit, I'm blown away. I am, just because of the fact that they managed to make every Marvel character that they put in the game unique. Even though they have their 3 different types, because it's like Technician, Vanguard, and I can't remember what the damage, I think they're like just fighters, I think, is what their category is called. And they're split up into those 3 categories. And Vanguards are tanks, Technicians are your healers / support characters, then the fighters are the damage characters. There's only about like 7 or 8 Vanguards right now, tank heroes. There's, I want to say, like a dozen Technicians. And of course the damage characters, there's like 2-3 dozen already. There's a bunch of them. It runs on Unreal Engine 5, which I think is wonderful. Like, I was surprised when I booted up the game and it was like Unreal Engine 5. And I was like, oh, we run an Unreal Engine 5? Y'all built this game and that? Oh, let's go. Let's have some good time. So it was it was an interesting experience. Each character plays different and each character has their own strengths. Do we already have specific characters that are getting used more than others? Absolutely. I'm looking at you, Punisher mains. Y'all
I was
suck.
gonna say Doctor Strange.
Huh?
I was gonna say Doctor Strange.
Man, I'll admit, I've had a bunch of people tell me that Doctor Strange is getting played a lot. I've only been in like maybe 5 games, maybe, where I've had a Doctor Strange either on either team. And even when he's on the other team, he's not that big of a threat to me. Like, the biggest threat in terms of like the tank characters for me has been Groot. And Groot and Thor, truthfully. Groot and Thor. Those have been the 2. And the thing with Thor, and I've come to realize this, Thor is one of those characters, like a lot of different characters in this game that I'm realizing, is that if you are good with that character, then you will not have a singular problem in the game. But if you are still learning that character even a little bit, you are going to struggle with that character. And that is Thor to a T. I'm currently maining Moon Knight and Squirrel Girl. Those are my 2 mains. I picked up Moon Knight first just because Moon Knight, I've said it several times, my favorite Marvel character. I literally top 3 Marvel characters with Black Panther and Miles Morales Spider-Man. But I will say, like, Moon Knight is, like, he's my favorite. I just really like what they did with the aspect of, like, multiple personalities all inhabiting one body. And then also having an Egyptian god also be, like, in the body as well. Like, the whole thing, I love it to death. He's not the most difficult to play, but I will admit, if this is your first time picking up a hero shooter, do not pick Moon Knight, because you will struggle. Squirrel Girl, on the other hand, Squirrel Girl is absolutely the type of character that you can pick up first day playing and actually find some success. I was told this, and then after I played with her, I absolutely agree. Squirrel Girl plays like Junkrat from Overwatch. If you have ever played Overwatch and you played Junkrat, you know what that means. His whole thing is he shoots grenades the entire time. He's basically a run and gun. And that's basically what it is. Same thing with Squirrel Girl. She shoots explosive acorns I think they're acorns. They're of the nut family. I actually don't know which nut it actually is. Oh, God, that's terrible. Um, but Squirrel Girl is actually really fun to play, and if you know how to play her properly, you can pull off some insane plays with Squirrel Girl. I think I've literally capped out at like 20. I think I had like a 20 kill game or like a 21 kill game with Squirrel Girl. It's really fun if you know what you're doing. Her ult can literally mow down an entire team if you can catch them in the right spot. Um, Same with a lot of characters actually. A lot of characters can mow down entire teams with their ult. Fuck Jeff the Land Shark with a flaming passion. Fuck Jeff the Land Shark. It's like Jeff the baby land shark, but fuck him. Fuck Jeff. 100%. I hate him. I hate him with a passion. Every time I see Jeff, I wanna like jump in the game and like grab him and throw him as hard as I can. Probably wouldn't be very far because I'm led to believe that Jeff is actually kind of chunky as a character. But so yeah, my three rating for competitiveness slash difficulty. I won't say it's overly difficult. It all depends on the team you're playing slash the team you're with. Because that's something that happens a lot. Well, that happens every time unless you're in a group. Is you get dropped into random parties, and it's sometimes you get good teams and y'all win literally within the first like 2 rounds, if there are rounds, or even like the first like 3 minutes of the game. Like it's quick. But on the other side of that, if you don't have a good team and then you're playing against a team that's really good, then you're in for a bad time. You're not gonna have fun. But as a whole, I will give it 3 stars on the competitiveness slash difficulty because I think it's great. What were my three? I feel bad. I don't even remember. Studio audience.
The other ones were fun, like the fun factor. You
Yes.
said repetitiveness.
Yep. Fun factor. The other one was fun, how fun it was, and then the last one was on a scale how likely I would be to recommend it to a friend to play. So fun factor, 100%. I give it 5 stars. I give it 5 stars because and I'll admit this, even on the losing side of things, it's still fun if you get to play it. Like if you're playing the characters that you want to play, and you're playing it like intuitively like how that character is supposed to be played, then you're gonna have fun even if you're on the losing scene. You're gonna be annoyed because you're losing, especially because if you have a healer that especially if you have a healer that can't heal for shite. I'm looking at you, Luke Stone.
Damn.
I'm calling. Yeah. Oh yeah. I 100% am gonna clip this because I played with one of my wrestling homies, Luke Stone, the other night, and the biggest thing was he literally would say it's not his fault. It's not his fault that me and another homie died, but he was playing healer in both of the games. And then wanted to be like, where y'all at after we've already died? Like, yes, you are the healer. You're not supposed to be front line, but you are supposed to be behind the people that are playing on the front line. Literally, the other guy that we were playing with was playing as Venom. The other guy was playing Venom. I was playing Squirrel Girl. So literally, we have a tank. We have a damage outputter. Stand behind us and heal. Like, it's not that difficult. Luke. Now you're going to jump in the comments talking all kind of mess. I know he is.
Did you do any of the? Did you try out any of the character combos, like the fastball special?
Oh
Or
yeah, I
what?
love bro. Some of the combos are nasty. I will say that I think my favorite. I won't say my favorite, but I think one of the most effective ones, if you can use it properly, is Cloak and Dagger with Moon Knight because you get invisibility for like I want to say it's like 6 seconds, and even though the invisibility is only for like a small area, you can literally sit in that area and get off a bunch of shots, and people would not be able to shoot you and see you because you're in that cloak of invisibility. So I think that's really awesome. Plus, like Squirrel Girl, Spider Man, you like throw like a webbed nut and it like webs them up into the whole thing. It's really cool. I think Rocket Raccoon and Punisher has one, which basically it Rocket Raccoon sets up like a little some kind of like amplifier thing that basically gives Punisher unlimited ammo for a short time. I think that's pretty cool. I think that, and I also think that that is something that Marvel Rivals has done better than other hero shooters. Is that they do things like that where it's like, oh, we have combos for different characters, so it incentivizes people to play with these different combos. So it's like, oh, we have a team of 6. Okay, well, everybody choose characters that can combo with other characters. So that way, we're playing with like giant combinations and shit. But last category, which is how likely I am to recommend this game to other people. And of course, it's also gonna be a 5-star. Obviously, I would recommend it because I mean I commandeered an entire section of our podcast to talk about it. Of course I'm gonna recommend it to all my friends. I texted Studio Audience about it. He never responded. That's why I didn't invite him to try and come play with me over the weekend because he didn't respond. So.
Wow.
In fact, I no, we're not. Yeah. In fact, let me go back. I texted him on Tuesday. What was that? What date was that? Damn it! iPhone all the time. I texted him on Tuesday, December 10th, to look into Marvel Rivals. And he never responded, so I just assumed, well, I guess he's not playing it. So I'm not going to text him a second time and ask him if he wants to play. And I almost did, too. I almost did. This past Sunday, I almost texted him when me and my other homies were getting on. I almost texted him and was like, did you ever get Marvel Rival? To get on and play. I told my homie Ray that we was eventually going to have you once you ever decided to text me back to play with us, because me and Ray wants to run it. So like,
get the game and run it, man.
I'll have time this weekend.
Yeah, you will.
But you know what? I won't have time this weekend because me and my wife are celebrating her birthday.
Really?
What about Friday?
We will be out of town celebrating her birthday.
Better push that shit next weekend, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe during the week or something.
We'll find some time. Don't worry. We'll find time.
I'll make sure you get it.
But that has been my not so very good video game analysis. In the next year, in 2025, we'll start doing that a little bit more often. You know, once we start making some money, and I can upgrade my machine. And I can afford to upgrade my machine so I can get more video games. I'll start doing video game analysis on other games. It won't be an every week thing, but it'll definitely probably be like a once a month thing. I'll have to check the video game release calendar to see like when games are releasing and like which games I'd actually want to spend money to play. Cause there's one
coming out next year that I'm very excited about.
Which game?
It's called Split Factor.
I think I've heard about that.
I saw it because he was watching the Game Awards the other night.
Yeah.
And I saw it. It's along the same lines of It Takes Two, but it's a little deeper. Like, I don't know. It seems really cool to me, at least. So whenever that comes out, I'll have words on that.
Okay.
I still have words on It Takes Two.
Honestly, you know what? We could do that. We could actually we could probably run that. I feel like the people would love to see that. We can make that a Patreon exclusive.
Ooh, you know what would be great to run?
What?
Fucking Overcooked.
Oh my god, I don't know if our friendship would last playing that game.
It would not, but how fun would that be?
Look, now we do it. Look, then we'd be doing the podcast, hating each other, talking about something, and this motherfucker over here.
All right, this burger, yeah.
This motherfucker that don't know how to flip burgers.
How the fuck is the rice burn? Yes.
You tell me you was the one at the rice station.
No, the fuck I was. I was washing dishes, bitch.
No, you wasn't. I was the one washing dishes.
Well, damn. Why the dishes dirty then? That's why the fucking rice burnt because you ain't washed me no dishes.
The dishes were dirty because your burnt ass rice made them dirty.
That fucking did. I couldn't even get the rice out. You put the rice on the nasty ass counter that's also fucking burning.
See, that right there is exactly probably how it would be. Then we'd have people from the Patreon commenting, talking about no, it was actually studio audience's fault that the rice got burned.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did burn the rice.
Dang.
You set the counter on fire.
You sounded like he actually did burn some rice. Hold on.
No, because we played Overcooked and the counter ended up on fire.
Damn.
We made it past level 3 because someone keeps burning the counter.
Dang. That's crazy.
Gotta run it back one day. One of these days we're gonna try it again. We gotta finish.
That's
games.
crazy.
We got games to finish.
Same. I feel that. But next, it is now time for the shit for a shot. The penultimate section of the episode. This week, I got some vodka in a nice little My Hero Tenya Ida shot glass. Got my My Hero shirt, so I said I'll just use the My Hero shot glass to go along with it. Actually, is Tenya Ida on this one? Is he? He is not. I have now come to realize that Tenya Ida did not have a lot of merch. That's tragic.
Unfortunately.
So this week's shit for a shot. Oh god. I debated on if I wanted to get into this whole debacle because true to TikTok's nature, I randomly got a reaction or like one of those video essay breakdown videos before I had any context as to what they were talking about.
Right.
And what they were talking about is why some women, specifically it seems like black women, hate cooking with Kaya on TikTok. Now, to give a little bit more context, for those of you that don't know, they're the creator on TikTok called Cooking with Kaya. Literally, she starts the videos with like a little jingle. She sings her name a couple times that she had the dish in her hand. She sings it, she turns around, she shakes her ass. Then, she literally spends the entire rest of the video cooking whatever it is that she made that was on the plate in the first place. So, like, I think she's done like a breakfast one. She's done macaroni and cheese. I haven't watched any of her videos, truthfully. I just know about what's going on because the discourse on TikTok and on Twitter has literally just like almost damn near taken over my For You page. Literally got women so mad they're like breaking up with their boyfriend. Got men doing prank videos where they're like cooking for their girlfriends / wives and saying that like they got the recipe from Cooking with Kaya. I literally saw one earlier today, which is what like inspired this shit for a shot, where the guy did that and she was like, oh my god, this is the best thing you've ever made. Where'd you get the recipe? And he was like, I got it from Cooking with Kaya. And she like shoved the plate and like knocked it off the counter and like it broke onto the floor and like shattered.
It's not that deep.
And my thing is literally like, what is the beef with Cooking with Kaya? Like, my whole thing is like, a lot of these women, y'all know that these men be out here looking at this kind of stuff online anyway. Like, their whole Twitter account is full of women that regularly post themselves naked. So why are you upset that a woman is taking like 3 seconds at the beginning of her videos, shaking her ass, and then cooking for the rest of the video? Now, don't get me wrong, before I go on, before the counterpart, apparently, again, haven't heard it, apparently she did have a video where she, I guess after all of the initial reaction started happening, where she was like, ladies, you better learn how to cook for your man before I take him. Which, honest to God, if that's true, all that feels like it was a rage bait comment in order to rile people up more to get them to continue to talk about her. Because the simple fact of the matter is, she don't want none of y'all. She making her bag right now.
Yeah.
Like, she's making a bag, and she's making a bag by exploiting both the fragility of most men and their like wants, and then the insecurity of women who think that a random internet woman who doesn't know your man from a sack of rice on the side of the road is going to take your man. Yes, do I believe that a lot of these men would leave their women for Cooking with Kaya if they were given the opportunity? 100%. Because we've said it on this podcast before. Men ain't shit as a majority. They really ain't shit. A lot of them ain't. And if they had the opportunity, they would leave their woman. But you also have to think, will they ever have the opportunity to leave you for Cooking with Kaya? Probably not. Probably not. I have like a 99.995% chance that they would never even get to leave you for Cooking with Kaya. And I think that needs to be said. Truly.
Yeah.
And it's like all of these people are like, and that's really where it kind of got concerning to me, because I literally would watch video after video after video after video of women talking about like how much they hate Cooking with Kaya, how much they would drag her, how much like they hate that Cooking with Kaya is the reason their relationship ended. No, if your relationship was fragile enough that y'all's relationship ended over an internet personality, y'all's relationship was not strong enough to last anyway. Let's put that out there first and foremost. Like, so a lot of I'm at a point where I want to defend Cooking with Kaya, because it's just like she's doing the thing to get popular and is exploiting the thing that has made her popular to continue to do the thing. I'm gonna be honest, from the screenshot that I've seen, I would try some of her recipes. I would.
They look kind of good.
They look good. Like, and I really don't think, truly, I don't think my wife would be upset if I was like, hey, I saw this video, this Cooking with Kaya. I really don't care about her shaking her ass, because I really don't. But like,
I'm worried about the food.
Right. Like, literally, I'm more worried about the food. Like, the food look busted. I want to see what her recipe is. I want to try her recipe, because that shit look good.
Right.
Like, literally the one that I did see was like the macaroni and cheese. I was like, shit, that macaroni and cheese is looking good. I didn't even realize that she shook her ass in the video. I was looking at the fucking macaroni and cheese.
Got that much ass, so I don't understand that either.
She really don't. I wasn't gonna be the one to say it.
She got a scuba ass. Like, that's one. Like, okay, the food is more important than your little ass jiggle. Let's keep it pushing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think what a lot of it is, and I say this from an objective standpoint, it's all proportional. I think that's why, like, these guys are like, ooh, she's so attractive, and blah, 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 because it's all proportional. Like, everything is, like, proportional to everything on her body.
She looks small. She looks like she's short.
Right. She looked like she ain't but a 5'2", 90-something pound little girl.
She seems like she knows how to have a fun little time at night.
Right. Like,
she's the friend you want to go to if you just want to, like, go out for a night. Kaya's the one you want to go to.
Right. Like, she seemed like she the one that got the plugs on lock, where she can be like, oh, which club you trying to get into? I'll call them. We'll get in for free.
All right. If you don't want to go to the club, she's like, all right, well, come on over. I'll make you something.
Right.
She looks like she baked cookies.
She looked like the type of person that would invite you over for drink and have some homemade cookies made by the time you get there.
Yo.
That's the type of vibe I get from Cooking with Kaya. Literally off of like I said, like the 2 videos that I've seen, and then like all of the different screenshots that I've seen from her videos. But I say all that to say I don't understand the hate. I really don't. To be honest, I don't get it on either side of it. On the side of like, ooh, she's so fine, I'm watching her because she's fine, blah, 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 blah. And then the other side of, ooh, I hate her because my man is watching her. Ooh, I hate her so much. Like, I don't get either side. She's not even
in the video most of the time.
And that's the point to me. She's really not even in the video most of the time. It's pointed at like a pot or a pan while she's putting the recipe on the screen. So I'm just like, what is happening?
I will never understand people.
Same. Folks is weird. Look, that's why I'm glad I got my wife. That's why I'm glad I got my wife. Look, what we told my wife's family when we went and spent time with them, we just be over here vibing, bro. We be chilling. Like they asking us all kind of questions. We just over here like, we just vibing, bro. I don't know what to tell you. We just over here vibing. That's all we can say. Shit. But I say all that to say, I don't get it. People are weird. Stop giving the girl hate. She's making her bag. Like the video. Look, like I tell people when I be streaming, like the video, don't like the video, watch it, don't watch it. Alright, cool. I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do. Same thing for cooking with Kaya. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop with all that.
Mind your own business and find some security.
Exactly. Heavy on the find some security, please. But with that was the shit. This is the shot, so I'm gonna take this shot because that was some shit. Up to it, down to it. Fuck those who don't do it. We do it because we used to it. Now drink, motherfucker, drink.
Nice.
It went down smooth this time.
Yeah, I can tell by the way you're talking.
Oh. But with that, we are now going to go into our last section of today's episode, the very last episode. Sadness and tears. Sadness and tears, I say. But with that, we're going to hand the reins of today's episode over to Miss Kristal. And let it be known that it's now time for Am I the Asshole? As read by Kristal.
Whoa.
Hold on. We're gonna do it right this time. We're gonna do it right.
Yeah.
I did it right this time. I did it right.
Yeah. Right. Let's get into it. Am I the asshole for refusing to take my girlfriend back after she cheated just to see if she still had it?
No, not the asshole. Not even a little bit. I don't even need to hear the context. I genuinely do not. No. You said you said that she cheated. There's nothing else that needs to be said. She cheated. And from the sounds of it, it sounds like she admitted to cheating. I need to hear no more. But I know there is a story, so please regale us.
So, I, 30M, have been dating my girlfriend Rachel, 27F, for 2 years. She's always been confident and charismatic, which is one of the things I loved about her. Our relationship seemed solid, good communication, lots of shared interests, and we were even talking about moving in together. A few weeks ago, Rachel admitted to me that she cheated on me during a night out with her friends. She hooked up with some guy she met at a bar. I was completely blindsided. When I asked her why she did it, she said it wasn't about me or our relationship, but because she wanted to see if she still had it. I told her that was a terrible excuse, and she started crying, saying it was a stupid mistake and that she regretted it immediately. She begged me to forgive her, saying she learned her lesson and that it would never happen again. But I can't get over the fact that she was willing to risk our relationship for something so shallow. She didn't cheat because she was unhappy or because there was a problem between us. She cheated purely to stroke her ego. Now, Rachel and some of our mutual friends are calling me unforgiving, saying that everyone makes mistakes and that I'm throwing away a great relationship over one bad choice. They say I should focus on her remorse and give her another chance. I feel like staying with her would mean betraying my own boundaries, but I'm starting to wonder if I'm being too harsh. Am I the asshole for refusing to take her back?
Now, before you get into anything else, because I'm sure, because you're still looking at the screen, it looked like there's an update or something. I don't know. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this right into the microphone. I'm going to say her looking down the barrel of the camera. She didn't make a fucking mistake. She chose to do that shit. That wasn't a fucking mistake. She chose to do it. He's not the asshole for saying, I'm going to leave your ass for that. That wasn't a fucking mistake. If anything, he was a little bit too nice. Because if it was me, I'd have had her plastered all over social media for being the cheating skank that she is. Ain't no fucking way that's not a mistake. Ain't no motherfucking mistake. That's not a mistake. He's not the asshole.
Opinion?
I agree.
Is there an update? Could you keep looking at your phone?
You are right. There is an update.
Better be. You better tell me that he. You better tell me he blasted her into the sun or something.
No, the update kind of got me a little
Oh Lord. Oh hell.
bit. Wait on it. Okay, we're gonna skip the first of all. Thank you. First of all, thank you for everyone who commented on my original post. Reading your perspectives really helped me sort through my feelings during an incredibly tough time. Here's the update. After I posted, Rachel intensified her efforts to reconcile. She sent me long texts about how she regretted everything and how I was the love of her life. When I didn't respond, she showed up at my apartment crying and begging for another chance. I told her I still needed space and wasn't ready to talk, but before leaving, she accused me of being cold and said I was throwing away something special. A few days later, I got some information that completely shifted things. It turns out the guy Rachel cheated with wasn't just some random hookup from a bar, he was an ex boyfriend. She had been messaging him for weeks leading up to that night. Their conversations were flirty, suggestive, and way more than I consider appropriate. I found this out through someone who showed me screenshots Rachel had clearly tried to keep hidden. When I confronted Rachel with this, she initially denied it, but when I mentioned the messages, she broke down and admitted everything. She claimed she'd been feeling insecure and reconnecting with him made her feel desirable again. She insisted it didn't mean anything and that I was still the one for her, but it felt like yet another betrayal. At that point, I told her I was done. There's no coming back from this for me. She cheated, lied, and broke my trust on multiple levels. I ended things for good, and since then, I've cut all contact with her. It's been a rough week, but I feel at peace with my decision. As much as I cared about Rachel, I know I deserve someone who values honesty and loyalty as much as I do. Thank you again to everyone who helped me see things clearly. I'm finally moving forward.
I'm trying not to yell. I'm really trying not to yell because um uh I would have
It's just,
I truthfully I'm putting myself in this situation. I would have gotten sent to jail. 2 years in and she tells me that she cheated on me, only for me to later find out it was she cheated on me with her ex. I would have gone to jail. I would have gone to jail. I don't know if it would have been her or him, but somebody would have had a visit to the ER that night.
cheating on her with the ex, messaging him for weeks beforehand, trying to hide the messages.
Yep. And when I
Like,
tell you,
sis,
it would have, and again, all in the context of the story, he could have tried to pass it off as a crime of passion. Cause remember, even in the first update or in the first post, he was like, she completely blindsided me with this. So crime of passion, bam. Just I don't condone that. I really don't. But at the same time, I'm just like, think true think. I'm trying really not to like lose my shit right now, cause like think about like the diseases that could have been spread. Think about like all kinds of crazy shit. Cause think about had she messed around and ended up pregnant.
that's
Do you think she
facts.
would have fessed up if she would have messed around and ended up being pregnant? Do you think she would, or do you think she would have just been like, "Oh, it's your baby, yeah"? Like
She was trying to play it.
I stand on my statement from earlier, but I will adjust it a little bit. It wouldn't have been her. I would have actively sought out old buddy. I would have. I would have
Well,
actively. I would have put out. You would have thought I was the police putting out an APB the way I would have been looking for his ass. Or you'd have thought that he was number one on the FBI's most wanted list the way I would have had his ass. Oh,
what?
oh, 100%.
What? What? You have a comment. What
Okay.
is your comment?
Okay. So I've heard these kind of stories many times. And one thing that I thought would be useful for couples that find themselves in these kind of situations is that if they're feeling insecure about their bodies or if they feel like they don't have it or not, try role play and stuff like that. Try to explore new things with each other instead of trying to find it someone else.
I feel like that her saying she was insecure was a cop out.
But
I mean, I think she wasn't sorry that she cheated. She was sorry
She was sorry she
that
got
she,
caught.
yes.
but here's the thing: is she even sorry that she got caught? Because she did fess up to it.
She fessed up
She
to it, but then she's like, "Oh, I didn't." She didn't just say, "I
It
ain't
was a
mean to do it."
mistake. It was a mistake. Why is that always really though? Like, why is that always the thing that they try to say? Like, I'll admit, because I'll admit, I haven't always been a good guy. I don't have that kind of. I don't say that. I didn't say that in the past. Like, I was like, I really don't. Things just happen.
There's no
I went
reason.
in and
I did it.
I went in with the intention to not do anything, but things happen. Like,
Like, I'm sorry they happened, but
I'm
they
sorry they
happened.
have. Like, if you want to walk away, I completely understand. I hope you don't. But like,
If you do, I understand.
right?
But
And the, like that. If you were feeling insecure, communicate that shit.
that's why I felt like a cop out. What?
Well, I forgot about that.
Find it.
I doubt that was the only person.
Mm,
Probably,
I doubt it.
that's a thought.
I can see that, especially
Because you
considering
said
how hard the friends are riding for her.
right.
Like, them friends riding a little bit too hard.
The friends know something.
Oh, they probably know a lot.
They know. They know what's really going on.
She strikes me as the kind of person that would like, hey, babe, can we open our relationship up?
After you done already cheated,
Oh,
Girl, no.
I stand on it right here, right now. I would lose my ever loving mind. I would lose my ever loving mind. I would probably drive myself off of I-75, off a bridge over I-75, if I ever got approached and was like, babe, can we open our relationship?
Mm. Go ahead
I,
and end it now.
I'm out. I'm getting in my car.
Relationship over now.
I'm getting in my
I'm
car.
good.
I'm driving over a bridge off of 75 because no, there's no coming back. There's no coming back.
I'm finding the closest lake.
because at that point they already cheated. They just want
They want to cheat openly.
yes.
They don't want it to be called cheating anymore.
Exactly.
And I
Yeah.
think those people give the polyamorous community a
Like, I'm
bad
about right. Yeah. Just because you don't want to be loyal to yours.
Right.
Open relationships. Mm.
Irritating. Irritating. But all right, yeah, not the asshole. 100%, not the asshole.
Yeah.
In fact, I wish I knew Buddy personally. I'd buy him, even though I don't drink that nasty piss water. I'd buy him a beer.
I would torture both of them slowly.
Why would you do that?
Jigsaw style.
You're done. Stop talking. Don't talk no more. You're done. Don't talk no more. Listen, we got one more episode in the year. You want to lose your privileges?
I'm just playing. I would do that.
Look, my hands up on that one. I ain't the one that gotta live with her, so I ain't got no say in that one. If she say you gonna get muted and you gonna lose your privileges, then
Don't be muted, my guy.
I'm just
Can't do nothing about that.
I would just like move things ever so slightly to make the best of everything.
It's one of my favorite ones.
Mhm.
That's my favorite thing to do. Is move things slightly, just slightly inconvenience a person.
oh yeah, that would be me. If I had the ability to sneak into and out of people's houses, I wouldn't steal shit. I would just move shit around to make it inconvenient for them.
Do you
I'd
remember
put
that
their
old trend?
oh no, I'd put their couch deliberately in front of their hallway, from their like hallway to the main area, just so that way they'd have to like climb over it to get there.
Let's see. The other day, y'all remember that trend? People was like, what thing are you gonna do to slightly inconvenience somebody after y'all break up? And it was the
Absolutely.
most heinous things. Like, I'm gonna take all the light bulbs out your house. I'm gonna take all your left shoestrings.
I'm gonna
I'm
take
gonna cut the
all the
bristles off
backs
your
off your
toothbrush.
earrings. I'm gonna take all the
Right, I'm
backs
taking
off your earrings.
and I'm stealing your pencils.
I'm taking the batteries. And look, it's like, don't let me find out you got a Rose toy. I'm taking all the batteries. I'm cutting all your cords so you can't charge it. Everything.
I'm I'm taking every single power cord in the house. I'm not taking this nothing. I'm taking the power cords to every fucking thing.
Good luck. Can't charge shit. Can't turn shit on because everything, all the cords is gone.
I'm gonna take all the door. I'm gonna take all the knobs off the cabinets.
No, so they gotta use the little fingers so they can like grip it and pull it open. Oh, that's terrible. Ooh, that's terrible.
I'm gonna turn the fridge up slightly so everything just melts, but it's still cold in there.
That's rude. Nah, I'm gonna turn it all the way to the lowest temperature so everything in there freeze, even though it's the refrigerator.
I'm gonna switch everything in the freezer and the fridge. I'm gonna put now your butter is in the freezer, your eggs in the freezer,
That's
your chicken
crazy.
nuggets in the fridge. Everything is switched.
That's so disrespectful in the best way.
I'm taking the pillowcases.
Damn, not the
I'm gonna
pillowcases.
cut the pillows and take the fluff out the pillow.
I'm cutting all your moo in half and I'm taking all your bonnets.
Oh my gosh, that's diabolical.
Cut the moo in half.
I'm gonna change the Wi-Fi password and leave.
Whew. I'm going to slightly tilt all of your hanging photos just enough to where when you look at it, you gotta go, is it crooked? I can't. It
I'm
feels
gonna sign out
crooked.
of every single streaming service on every device.
Damn. Don't let me find your tablet and be able to unlock it. I'm deleting all your apps.
I'm slightly unscrewing every screw in the house.
Damn. Nah, I'm gonna slightly unscrew the light bulb just enough to where when you turn on the light, it looks like it's working, and then it turns off, so you think that it's like going bad. So now you got to replace
I'm
all the batteries or all the light bulbs in the house.
It's crazy. Yeah. I'm gonna replace all the chargers with USB-C when I know you like USB.
Damn, that's mean. That's mean. Let's see.
I'm gonna cut the edge off your toothpaste so it gets stale and hard.
Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty. Um, I'm
What
pouring out.
about
I'm pouring out all your shampoo and conditioner.
Damn.
what about blacking out all of the last page of each book so you never know what the end of
Damn.
each story would be?
That's only for readers. And what if they got Kindle? Then what you gonna do? Ooh, if you got a Kindle, I'm deleting all of your currently reading books.
Damn.
I don't care how far into the book you are. I'm deleting all of them.
I'm gonna rip the seams of all your shirts and your pants.
Okay, so you say that when you said that, I actually remembered. So it was one of those posts that was like, "What is the wildest thing you've seen somebody do in an argument or something like that?" And so basically, one guy was telling a story about how his mom and dad had gotten into an argument. So mom went into their bedroom and like sat in, I guess it's like a walk-in closet or whatever. So in the closet, apparently she had her sewing kit. So what she did was she took the seams out of all of his shirt and pants. I don't know if he like completely took the seams out, but like basically loosened them to the point to where they would all fall off. So she forgets. She stayed in there long enough to do that and to like calm down, but she forgets which one she did it to. Lo and behold, the next week, the dad goes to work. He comes back like 3 or 4 hours later, looking disheveled, and she's like, "What happened?" He's like, "My clothes exploded." And apparently she just never told him what happened.
I mean, shit.
I would take, I would, if you're, don't let me find out you're a video gamer. What I would do is I would take both of your analog sticks, and I press them to the point to where you have unfixable stick drift.
Ooh.
Ooh, I would get something sticky and put it right in the trigger, so whenever you hit the trigger, it would stick.
I'm gonna cut tiny holes in the bottom of the socks.
Oh, oh, no!
So it looks fine from the top, but when you put it on, you got holes, polka dot in the bottom of your damn foot.
Ew. I would,
Yeah.
I would make it so that way every time they put on a sock, it's just wet.
Ugh.
I think wet socks is probably the most inconvenient thing.
That's the worst. I hate that so
I just want to disappear whenever like I'm anywhere with wet socks.
much.
It just feels gross.
Maybe hide like a mini speaker, hide it really well, and just play the same song on repeat. You're at least picking something.
I'm gonna put a shrimp in the air vents
Ugh. Ugh. Yeah.
during the summer.
Nah, I'm gonna find some of that spray, the prank spray, and every day at the exact same time, I'm just gonna come by the house to spray it into the vents.
I'm gonna find a stray cat outside the house and feed it for a week straight, so it
Damn.
never leaves.
Damn. Okay, but some people might like that.
I'm gonna make sure they don't like cats.
Damn. Make sure they're allergic to them. Oh, that's mean. We're some of the most villainous people.
I did like that idea from Parasite, where
Mm.
they sprinkled the peach fuzz.
Oh,
Like if they're allergic to peaches, sprinkle peach fuzz all over their food.
no.
I just had a new idea. I'd get a bunch of loose hairs from like a barbershop and put it on the inside of your shirt. So when you put your shirt on, it just.
Mm. No.
I made her start itching. Y'all saw that scratch? She scratched.
Like,
Ugh.
I hate it.
But all
I'm gonna
right.
dry out all your shampoo with edge control.
Not the edge control. Oh no.
I'm gonna make all your brushes just limp.
Dang, that's
Like
rude.
the hard brush you used to brush your hair, nope, it's now limp. It's like brushing your hair with fucking noodles.
I'm gonna cut all your hair ties so that way you ain't got no hair ties.
I'm gonna boil them so they just forever not stretchy.
Dang. I mean, you could still use it. That's why I cut them. Just clip.
Mm.
Ah.
I mean, you can still use them once you cut them too.
But it's so much more difficult because then you gotta
It is.
pull it and through it and tie it. It's a whole thing.
It is.
But all right.
I think we're done being villainous.
For now.
Okay.
Before we end tonight's episode, as is customary, I don't know if y'all can see the little shadow in there. I still got a little bit left to drink. I don't want to pour out, but y'all see I still got a little bit of drink in now. So I'm gonna finish up my cup, and then we'll get into the end of today's episode.
Well,
But with that being said, if you guys have enjoyed today's episode, do us a favor. Please like, comment, share our podcast. Follow us on all the socials. We have Drunk Text Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Bluesky. We are on Bluesky. We haven't posted anything. I asked Rob. He hasn't responded. I don't think by the time we're recording today's episode, I don't think he's listened to last week's episode because he hasn't said anything about our proposal.
whatever.
But that's no matter. We're gonna keep rock and rolling. We're also on TikTok at Drunk Text Pod. Please follow us on YouTube and Spotify because that's how we grow. That's how we get our name out there. It doesn't look like we're going to make that threshold of 100 subscribers on YouTube and 100 followers on Spotify before the end of the year. So what that means is I'll still be doing the, what's the name of that show? Food Wars. I'll still be doing Food Wars, but it will be a Patreon exclusive. Be on the lookout for that because that is a part of our 2025 announcements. And the only reason I'm not hiding that one is because of the fact that we've been talking about that since like the 3rd episode. So,
Yeah.
but with that being said, you can follow me everywhere on the socials at YoungJB, at underscore YoungJB. That's at underscore YUNGJAYBEE. Pow. Please, Miss Kristal, tell the people where everybody can find you.
They can find me everywhere at Kristal Deshan, KRISTALZESHAN.
Absolutely. We love it so very much. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please remember that you are loved, you are appreciated, and we are so happy that you joined us here today on the Drunk Texting Podcast. We will see you all next week for the last episode of the year. Wow. Just see us next week for the very last episode of the year. Wow, that's so crazy to think. But with that being said, we will see you all in the next episode. I hope you have a great rest of your day, a great weekend, and a great next week until we see you in the next one. We love you, mean it. Bye-bye.
If you or a loved one is struggling with alcohol abuse, dial the National Drug and Alcohol Treatment Hotline at 1-800-662-4357. The National Drug and Alcohol Treatment Hotline provides information on alcohol and drug abuse, local treatment options, and support through hotline counselors who are there to help and speak with you about alcohol, drug, or family problems.